What's up, everybody? Coach Brian Klepacki here, criticalbench.com, and today I'm talking to you about how to foam roll your legs. So obviously the legs are a good portion of your body, and there's a lot of different muscles within those legs that we need to address when we're foam rolling. Now, if you're new to foam rolling, real quick, there's a bunch of different types of foam rollers. As you can see, I've got 4 different types here. This is your standard black. I think it's about a 5-inch diameter, maybe 6. I'm not exactly sure. This is a pretty high density foam, so this one might be a little too intense for you. There's different thickness. Here's a softer one. This is a little more portable, compact. You got a thing like the rumble roller. Don't be intimidated by these. They just actually help with some pressure points. But for this video, I'm just going to be using a standard black high density roller here. And I'm going to be walking through a couple different lower body, leg exercises or muscle groups to hit. So the first thing you want to do is target the bigger muscles. Now, when you're making passes with the foam roller, you want to go slow, steady, and you also want to go with the grain of the muscle, but also against the grain of the muscle. This works out any imperfections or any types of knots or just any type of just stuff going on in those legs that shouldn't be there. I always start with the glutes. Yeah, they might not be part of the legs, but your legs attached to the glutes. So I always want to make sure my glutes are loosened up first before I start going to the lower body. So what I'm doing here is just rolling out my glutes, a couple small passes. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm going to expedite the amount of time I spend on each group, but you want to spend about 30 seconds, maybe to a minute on each particular muscle group. Now, what I also tell people when they're rolling out their legs is that you want to cover every square inch of the muscle you're being used. So your butt, for example, you want to get the side, the top, the way down closer to the hamstring, in towards the middle of your butt, and also those hips. So again, finding the grain might be difficult for you. For the beginners out there, I don't expect you to know which way the muscle lines up. In other words, just keep moving forward and back, side to side. Keep changing the angle of your foot, of the upper body to apply pressure elsewhere. And then before you know it, you've got every part of that glute rolled out. Now, the same thing applies with those legs. So we've got the hip or the glutes down. Now we're going to go up to the hip flexor, your TFL, your psoas, things like that you want to get deep into that hip flexor. So what you're going to do is, what I tell everybody is find where your pants pocket is, and just stay right on that, trying to relax the leg and the hip as best as you can, and roll that out. Again, 30 seconds to a minute, and then you're going to work your way down towards the front of the quad, the upper part of the hip flexor, and then you're going to start rolling towards mid-thigh. Again, nice slow passes. Now, if you find a sticking point, it's okay to spend a little more time on that, but you don't want to necessarily be right on top of that sticking point. You want to be around it on all 4 sides. So if it's, say, your middle of your quad, is hurting right there, you want to make sure you foam roll all around it because you want to kind of dissipate the pain or the soreness throughout the leg. Now, when I mentioned earlier, you want to go with the grain and without the grain. So there's another thing called flossing or rolling with the roller. Now, I'm not moving the roller, but I'm moving my leg side to side. So it's for example, here's your quad muscle right here. I'm rolling this way up and down, but now if I'm moving my leg side to side, I'm rolling out this way. Hopefully that makes sense. So we've got the quads. Now let's go to the inner thighs here. This is part of your leg. Parallel with the body. I always start deep into the groin, roll that out. Your adductors, a little bit of your quads, also a little bit of hamstrings in there as well. Then you start working from mid-thigh or inner thigh towards the knee. Definitely going to feel this a lot more in that quad. And obviously you want to make sure you're doing both sides. I'm not showing both sides right here, but you get the idea. Again, slow passes. Moving that leg, not just one position, but always changing the position of your body, of your leg. So, all right, so we've covered hips, glutes, hips, quads, adductors. Now we're going to go to the hamstrings. Hamstrings are a little difficult because you got to use your upper body to apply some pressure. I start as close to the butt cheek as possible, trying to get deep into it. Now the hamstrings are pretty resilient, so you might not feel any type of pain or discomfort, unless your hamstrings are sore, then obviously you will feel it. Like I feel it a lot more in my quads when I'm rolling my quads up than I do rolling out my hamstrings. That still doesn't mean, that means you should still roll out those hamstrings, so don't worry about that. Now from the middle of the belly down closer to the knee, you don't want to roll directly behind the knee because there's a lot of nerves going on there that you could actually start doing some damage on some nerve endings down there, so stay away from right behind the kneecap. Okay, hamstrings are done. Now let's go to the calves. This is usually what's most painful for people. What I tell people to do, go 2 legs at a time. If that's not enough pressure, cross the legs, stack it with that top leg pushed down, and then really dig into it. Now the calves, again, you want to make sure you're going side to side, as you can see I'm doing here, but also you want to make sure you're rolling the interior part of your calf and also the outside part of your calf, all the way down to your shin. You've got your peroneals down there, you've got your Achilles, you've got a lot of stuff going on in your lower leg that needs to be addressed. I know that was kind of quick, but the whole idea with foam rolling the legs is to start with the bigger muscles and work your way down. Go with the grain, also go against the grain, slow, steady, 30 seconds to a minute each muscle group. Foam roll before you start exercising, after you exercise, even on days off. Foam rolling is a great way to improve recovery and also decrease muscle soreness. Now before you take off, there's something I'd love to share with you. It's all within this report right here. It's called the Why Stretching Won't Make You Flexible, and we talk about things like foam rolling. In order to get this report, you need to click this box here, give us your email, and we'll send you a copy of it right away. If you can't click the box because you're on a mobile device, what you need to do is click the arrow under this video here. That's going to open up the video description area. You'll see a link at the top, criticalbench.com/stretching. Click that link, give us your email, and we'll send you a copy of this free report right away. We appreciate you watching. I know we've got some other videos that I know you're going to find helpful. Subscribe to our channel, check out those videos, like us, share us. Leave us some feedback too. If you got a question about foam rolling your legs or a suggestion for an upcoming video, whatever it is, we'd love to hear from you. And hopefully we'll help you out in some way. Thanks for watching. See you soon.